What's up guys, it's Anti-Flip bringing you another Rust tips and tricks video. Today we're mostly just going to be talking about build cupboards. Um, I put up my first tips and tricks video just going over a lot of the basic stuff about walls and the direction they're supposed to face on your base, and somebody else suggested that I try to include tool cupboards in my tips and tricks video. So that's what I'm going to go over today. Most people who play Rust understand tool cupboards, what they are. They're basically just a an object that you place down on your base, and it makes it so there's an AoE around the area that you place it that you're allowed to build. This prevents people who aren't with you, who aren't with your group, from building anything within that area. If I build out my building plan and try to build my own little house right next to yours, I can't because it says I'm building blocked in the bottom right of the screen there. So what happens is they have to get all the way outside the radius of that tool cupboard, which is pretty far, honestly. I'm a decent way away from your base to the point where, I mean, I could build right in your backyard. I could still be your next door neighbor, but I'm not close enough to the point where I should be able to build up on top of your roof and see if I can get in through the top. Um, Tool cupboards are, I don't even want to say very handy, they're just essential. If you are building a base, you need a tool cupboard. If you are building anything of value, you need a tool cupboard. Um, they prevent raids, they prevent griefing by people placing walls and spike barricades in front of your front door, which could be your only entrance to your base. All types of stuff. So if you're building a base, you need to remember one of the first things you need to build is a tool cupboard, because if you don't have all the resources to finish your base and you haven't even built a tool cupboard yet, you're going to have an issue because people can come over and kill you. They can take your base for themselves, and that's it. Game over. Start fresh on a beach, day one, start all over. All because you forgot to put down a tool cupboard. If you had a tool cupboard down and it was secured, meaning it was behind walls, or it was behind walls with a door, then the worst that they can do to you if they can't blow open the walls is kill you, take all your stuff, but they can't build in the radius of your tool cupboard. So you should still be, you're not back to square one per se. They may break your sleeping bag and you have to find your house again, but your house should still be there. It should still be intact. So I built a little mock base here. It's just your basic standard Newman base that you'll come across. Very bland, very plain, very square. You'll see a lot of bases like this. A lot of people don't really use the triangle foundations or the rooftops and stuff like that. They really just stick to the foundations, walls, doorways, and windows. That's it. Um, it's just your standard base design. Now, as a raider, seeing a base like this is, you look at this and you see how much stone is put into it, and raiders are usually after sulfur, gunpowder, and all your other loot as far as high quality metal, metal fragments, guns, explosives, all that stuff. So seeing this much stone put into a base means that there's a certain amount of sulfur that this person must have had. Most likely a base this small, the person still has the sulfur because they probably don't have the means to use it. So as a raider coming across a base like this is like, oh man, this is going to be easy. Um, Honestly, if a raider was to come across this, they probably wouldn't even use C4. They would probably just get away from the tool cupboard and build as close as they can and get on top of the base and see if there's a way in through the top. But we're going to go ahead and just skip all that for now, and we'll save that for a later video if people call for it. But for right now, since we have the C4 on us, because we're on a Bob the Builder server and we just spawned it in, we're going to go ahead and pretend that we're a raider. We saved up our sulfur and our charcoal and turned it into gunpowder, made the C4, and we're going to go ahead and plop right into this base. Alright, so one C4 for a sheet metal door, not too expensive. This is part of the reason you should always upgrade to armored whenever you get a chance. We go ahead, we walk in the base, see this person's got 3 furnaces. Reinforces our idea that they probably have been smelting sulfur, metal frags, some other stuff that we'd like. They got a research table, a repair bench, all types of stuff over here. It's all empty. They got a little bed. Even put the new water purifier down. It's adorable. Alright, we run over here. Damn, they got another door. Alright, and if you pay attention, you could see that this base is too high. It's not just the next floor up where you can, stand on top of one of these furnaces and blow a floor and then jump up. It's too high, which is a good design choice because it means that without explosives to get through, the person who's building or who's raiding or whatever would have a hard time trying to jump up to pickaxe through the bottom of the floor, which is something that people can do. So really their only option is basically to either get a bunch of people and stand on top of each other and try to pickaxe through here and then try to jump up there still, or to use more explosives, which is what the route that we're going to go through. Now, seeing a walled off area like this and looking on the inside, you can tell, okay, well, the tool cupboard's obviously back there, but looking at the base, I don't see the window portion, so there's another floor. So we need to get up there. So we're going to go ahead and do the predictable route, try to go through the door. Not only because, you know, it only takes 1 C4, which is cheaper than 2 for a stone wall, but because this will most likely lead to the tool cupboard and to a set of stairs. Okay, so we came across another doorway, meaning we have to use a second C4. No big deal. We would have had to use 2 for a stone wall anyway, but if we blew through the wrong side of the wall, like if I blew through this wall right here, we would have used 2 C4, been in the exact same situation. And if I blew through this wall over here, we would have gotten to the tool cupboard, which means we can build, but we would have still had to blow out this door, or this door, to get into this section right here. And they have a new ladder hatch set up. It doesn't have a code lock on it, meaning we could just pull it down, but we're going to go ahead and pretend that there's a code lock on there, because a lot of people are starting to build bases like this, and the reason for it is, go ahead and toss that C4 up there. Like I said, we're going to pretend there was a code lock on there, but don't mind me forgetting to put one on there. Wait for the C4 to go. Boom. 1 C4 for a ladder hatch, just like a sheet metal door. Awesome. I could see upstairs. There's probably all types of loot, AKs, rocket launchers, bolt action rifles, but here I am sitting at the bottom of this pit, not being able to climb up. And why? Because I do not have building privilege. Alright, so we used 1 C4 on that door, another C4 on this door, another C4 on the ladder hatch. So we are at a cost of 3 C4. And seeing as how we've already used the C4 and we still can't get up there, we're going to go ahead and have to bump it up to 4 C4 in order to get to the tool cupboard and be able to build upstairs. Boom. Broke our little box that he used to get up. Authorize. Alright, perfect. Now we can actually build. This is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and put some stairs down. Get up here. Now, if you notice, there's a building privilege screen right there that says I can build. But I go up a little higher and all of a sudden I'm building blocked. How does that work? I'm authorized on this cupboard, but I get up here and it says I'm building blocked. Very, very strange. Well, us being the savvy little raiders we are, we're just going to go ahead and build our own ladder hatch. Open it up. Climb up. Alright. We made it to the roof. There's all types of loot, all this good stuff, but we're still curious about what happened with the stuff being building blocked. Now, we see another section here that's walled off. And before we blow C4 on it, we're going to go ahead and go downstairs. Check. Nope, there's a floor. So, one can only imagine that they placed a second tool cupboard right here behind this wall. This is a very, very common thing, guys, because you never want to have a big base that's more than 3 floors. More than 2 floors, actually, without having multiple tool cupboards. The reason for this is you want to make every chance you get harder for people trying to raid you. Now, if this person had more floors above them and decided to just go ahead and just keep building floors and floors, and especially if they did 2 floors up for every floor, so it was that like downstairs how it was 2 floors up to the next floor, they would literally need to reach a tool cupboard every single time they went up the stairs. So this would require, on this case, using 2 more C4 just to get to the tool cupboard. Boom. Alright, we got to the tool cupboard again, and now we'd be able to build up to get to the next floor, which might have the loot, or it could be another dummy room, and it just keeps going on and on and on until they find out your loot was on the 5th floor after going up so many floors, and they already ran out of C4 and they can't get up there. This is a really good thing to know, because tool cupboards, they go up, I believe it's 8 tiles above. So basically, the length of this wall right here, it goes up 8 times for the tool cupboard building privilege. And then after that, it's just gone because you're too high. You're out of the tool cupboard's range. Think of it like a giant sphere. And the thing about tool cupboards is they can go 8 up, but they only go 1 floor down, which is why when we're going down this ladder hatch, we ran out of building privilege once we got up too high because we were in this tool cupboard's range. Alright. Now, and that is pretty much the basics of tool cupboards. Besides that, the only thing you want to keep in mind is the AoE outside of your base for building tool cupboards, because the bigger you build your base, the more radius you're going to need for tool cupboards. Like if we were to put external walls all around this base, we get to the outside right here. If there was a wall right here and I get it right here, I can build. I can just go ahead and be like, alright, this is a cute little wall and everything, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of wall myself over here. And I'm just going to skip your gate if you don't mind, which I'm sure you don't. Alright, even if it's facing the wrong way, just go ahead and jump up, and we could just hop over the gate. You might take a little damage on the way down, but it'll be worth it if you can skip wasting 3 C4 or wasting time to use a flamethrower or whatever the case is, whatever kind of wall it is, to get to the other side. So if you build external tool cupboards, meaning that you get out of the building privilege area, and once you don't see that you have building privilege anymore, just go ahead and plot down a little triangle foundations are cheaper, but you can do a regular foundation if you like. Go ahead and scroll through your little construction list, get to the tool cupboard. And the trick to placing these on triangle foundations is to make sure you put the tool cupboard down before you put walls down, so that way it can actually fit. And make sure it's centered, so that way it doesn't pop through the wall. Once you have the tool cupboard down, you want to authorize on it. And then go ahead and just place 2 walls, then place a triangle. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to cheat here. Upgrade the whole thing there. Like I said, Bob the Builder server. And then from this point, it's either if you're playing solo or if you're playing with friends. If you're playing solo, you can go ahead and just wall the thing off. If you're playing with friends, you might want to use a doorway. So that way people that aren't online or aren't right next to you when you're doing this can come back and open the door and authorize themselves, and then just close the door again, and it's still secure. But in this case, we're flying solo, so we're just going to go ahead and plop that down, rotate the walls so the strong side's facing out, upgrade it to stone, bam. Now you have even more building privilege, an entire tool cupboard's worth of building privilege that extends all the way right past this rock right here onto the second rock a little bit. So these are obviously very useful. The bigger your base, the more tool cupboards you have to build, the more secure you'll be able to build, so that way you don't end up with people like this trying to raid tower over your buildings. So get rid of these. Dog lost his fucking mind. Alright. We're going to go ahead and cut the video there, guys. This was basically just a tutorial about tool cupboards. Let me know in the comments below if you guys enjoyed it, if you guys have another idea for a Rust tutorial video. I'm trying to hit a lot of the basics of Rust. I'm even thinking about doing just an overall starting on the beach with a rock and a torch, showing you how I go to build a base and how I carry out my first day and first few hours in Rust, because I feel like a lot of people do different things that aren't necessarily in their best interest. So if you guys have any ideas for different videos or any questions, just let me know in the comments, or let me know on the Yogscast server subreddit, and I will try to answer them and possibly even make another video for them. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.